collision in one dimension. In this figure, m1 is the mass of the body and v1I is the initial velocity of mass m1. This body is moving in the direction of x, and a body which is placed on the same path m2 of the mass m2 collides with this velocity v1I, and the initial velocity of mass m2 is 0 because this body is in the rest. When this body collide with m2, m1 and m2 both come into the motion, and the velocity of the mass m1 becomes v1f, while the velocity of the mass m2 becomes v2f. This is the different directions from the x-axis, and this body makes angle theta 1 and the other body m2 makes angle theta 2. Now for one dimension, theta 1 and theta 2 will be 0 because both bodies will go into the same straight line, and for a moment or intermediate cases both body will collide when they are in the contact. Therefore from figure we can, and this is the completely inelastic collision, because we know that when one body strikes to the other and when together body move in one dimension or two dimensions, then this type of collision is called inelastic collision. Now from the figure, for one dimension theta 1 equal to theta 2 equal to 0. By the law of conservation of momentum, momentum before collision and momentum after collision will be same. Therefore momentum of the mass of the body m1 will be m1 v1I plus momentum before collision of mass m2 into v2I equal to m1 plus m2 into vf. Since the velocity of the mass m2 is 0, therefore this will become 0. There are two cases. Case first, if the two masses are equal, then the m1 equal to m2, and we have find out the value of v2f, that is velocity of the final velocity of the second mass equal to 2 times m1 v1I divided by m1 plus m2. So we will put here in the place of m2 we have put here m1. So this comes m1 plus m1 2m1, and in the numerator there is 2m1 v1I. So 2m1 will cancel out by the 2m1, and this comes the v2f equal to v1I. That means the final velocity of the second body equal to the initial velocity of the first body, and the final velocity of the first body will equal to m1 minus m2, m1 plus m2 into v1I. In this case, when we put in the place of m2 equal to m1, we get m1 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m1 into v1I. m1 minus m1 means 0. When we multiplied by 0 in any terms, this will give 0. Therefore, the final velocity of the second body will be 0. So we can say that the first mass comes into the rest because this is the final velocity of the first mass. So first mass comes into the rest and it pushes to the second mass with the initial velocity of the first mass. It means we see that in this calculation v2f, that is the final velocity of the second body, is equal to the initial velocity of the first body. So we have written here the second mass with the initial velocity of the first mass. That is, first body will comes into the rest and it pushes to the second mass with the initial velocity of the first mass. Now case number 2, if the one mass dominates the other, it means one mass is heavier and another mass is lighter. In this case, let M2 is very greater than to the is much greater than M1, then V1F equivalent to minus V1I. It means the final velocity of the first body equal to minus times initial velocity of the first body. It means minus sign indicates that the velocity of the first body will reverses. That means if the body is going in the forward directions, then after the collision it will reverse, that means comes to the backward side, and the final velocity of the second body equivalent to 0. That means the second body will be about to rest or stationary, but the first mass velocity reverses its direction. In this figure, M1 is the mass and M2 is the another mass. M2 is kept in the rest position. M1 is moving with initial velocity V1I. This mass collides with the mass M2. After collision, the velocity of the mass M1 becomes V1F and the velocity of the mass M2 becomes V2F. These two bodies makes angle theta 1 and theta 2 respectively. Now we will resolve these two velocity V1F and V2F in the vertical and horizontal directions. So V1F, when V1F is resolved, this gives horizontal component V1F cos theta 1 and vertical component V1F sin theta 1. Similarly, when V2F is resolved, this gives horizontal component as the V2F cos theta and vertical component V2F sin theta 2. Now we will use in this figure by the law of conservation of momentum. Initial momentum, we know that by the law of conservation of momentum, the total momentum before the collision and after the collision and during the collision are same. So before collision, the total momentum of the body is this M1 V1I, and for the mass M2 the total momentum will be 0 because here mass M2 is at the rest position initially. This is at the rest position. So in the left hand side V1 F1I is the initial momentum, and after the collision the momentum of the mass M1 equal to M1 into V1F cos theta. There are two components of velocities, horizontal component and vertical component. We are writing here a horizontal component. So M1 V1F cos theta 1 plus velocity momentum of the second body will be M2, and the velocity component in the horizontal direction is V2F cos theta 2. Similarly, for the vertical direction, that is along the y-axis in the positive direction, velocity is taken positive. Since initially this body is not moving on the vertical directions, so its vertical component will be 0. Similarly, the vertical velocity of the mass M1 is V1F sin theta 1 and the mass is M1. Therefore, M1 V1F sin theta 1 plus M2 and the velocity of V1F sin theta 1 and V2F sin theta 2 both are opposite to each other. We have taken here velocity along the y-axis in the positive direction, positive. So V2F sin theta 2 is the opposite direction, so it will be in negative. Therefore we have taken here minus v2f sin theta 2, and solving this we get minus m2 v2f sin theta 2. This is the equation second. For the elastic collision, we know that there is no loss of kinetic energy. Therefore before the collision and after the collision, kinetic energy will be same. So kinetic energy before collision of this body m1 will becomes 1 by 2 m1 v1 square I equal to half of m1 v1 f v2 square, because the final velocity of the first body is v1 f and the second body is v2 f square. So this comes equation second. Now solving these two equations, we can find the value of v1 f.